Hey, this is JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's July 31st, 2026. Looking at the mid-level water vapor map, you can see this big dry patch of dry air that's about to head into our area, but we still have one last little section of monsoonal air that's been hanging on above the high, and that's going to trigger some afternoon thunder showers before this dry patch comes over us for the weekend. We have this other low that is off the coast of British Columbia that is going to be overhead too, and those are going to initiate probably some red flag warnings. We're under a fire watch right now. Looking at the HER model for those afternoon thunder showers, they can start to develop anywhere from the Sawtooth, White Clouds over into the Pioneers and Lost Rivers, right around 2 or 3 p.m. And that's kind of where the moisture is. It needs that upper elevation right now to help trigger that upper air moisture, and upper elevation is what we need for those thunderstorms to happen today. So we're not going to see them down in the valley floor. They really need those orographics to push that cool air up into the atmosphere and trigger those things. You can start to see the dry cold front that's gonna come through later Saturday afternoon into the evening. Not any associated showers with that. But because that thing is coming through, we do have a fire watch for most of the area, and that is due to increased winds. We're going to have southwest winds pick up Saturday afternoon, and you can see the colors really start to change by 2 or 3 p.m. We'll have gusts up in the 30s, and that's probably going to aggravate a lot of the fires, I imagine, in Oregon. I'm really wondering what the smoke is going to do Saturday night into Sunday. Could wake up with smoky skies on Sunday morning. The humidities are also going to be really low. This is going to be kind of more difficult to see, but this brown area here is all single digit humidities for Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon is going to be just as dry. And it's going to be hot. Today's going to be 96, tomorrow's going to be 97, but after that cold front comes through, it's going to drop about 15 degrees on Sunday. Sunday's forecast, it's not going to be cold by any means, but cooler. And then we'll be down to 84 by Monday. So about a 20-degree temperature drop over those 48 hours. And next week's looking like we're hanging in the lower 90s, so slightly cooler, more about the same temperature as it has been. Looking at the HER smoke forecast, it's looking pretty clear-ish. There's gonna be like a light haze over the central mountains. Boise looks like it's still kind of in the thick of it. This is when the winds start to pick up on Saturday, so you can start to see these fires are going to get fanned by those winds and likely create some smoke, but I think it's not going to be till maybe after the fires or after the winds die down a little bit that we'll really see that smoke. If the upper atmosphere is really churning hard with the pressure gradient being strong, with that cold, hot air being so close to each other, that makes the pressure gradient tighten and the winds increase a lot. That is going to influence those fires to probably become bigger, and it's not going to be till that air winds chill out a little bit that we'll see that smoke. So we still have lots of fires to our west. The Coleman one seems like that was the most active overnight, with the grass fire having a couple hot spots, but that's been getting more resources, mostly probably due to the outcry of needing help over there. But as you can see, the Northwest is very active with fires. It's the highest priority right now. So all the resources are being pushed into this area. And this highlights our weather fire watch. That's probably going to activate probably with the afternoon shift coming in for the National Weather Service. They'll probably issue that if everything still aligns with what they're seeing in the forecast to push out an advisory or a warning. Smoke quality this morning, we are sitting in the green. It's maybe going to go up a little bit. These trends I don't find too helpful, honestly. Looking at the 500 millibar chart, put this back towards the bottom here. So the heat dome is going to wobble to the west a little bit, and that's going to completely cut off any monsoonal moisture from coming up. We do have that low coming in this weekend that's going to bring those increased winds, lower humidity, and mix things up a little bit. And then after that, you can kind of see the heat dome shrinks a little bit, it actually elongates more, so it's not as potent ridge line. So that's going to keep the temperatures at bay for at least a few days before it rebounds. But it's not looking as strong as it was before. That doesn't mean it's going to be cooler out there, but we are moving into August, so hopefully it cools off a little bit. Do see this big ridge, almost like a blocking ridge that shifts further to the northwest of us. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out for next week. It is supposed to be a lot drier this coming week. Show this on our precipitable water. So this is how much water is up in the atmosphere. You can see this big gray spot here is just all dry air. There's like a little slither that comes through Sunday morning, but then for the next week we are just in mostly dry air as that highs a little bit further to the west and just cutting off any monsoonal moisture coming up from the southwest. So that's going to shut down that pipeline for next week or so until it looks like maybe around next weekend we'll have a couple signs of moisture coming back in. So that's a wait and see for the next week. Could be a pretty quiet week as far as weather goes, but increase in fire weather.